Welcome back to the channel, guys. As promised, we are going to take a look at the second Serie A team in terms of Calciomercato. In my opinion, one of the best around. They had a tremendous off-season. A few missteps here and there, not necessarily because of their fault, but once again, Marotta with basically no money pulled off a great team, guys. Let's be honest. I think it's a great team. And so you probably understood that we're talking about Inter. We talked about Milan yesterday. Guys, let's start right away with the goalkeeper position. They lose Onana, they lose Handanovic, and they lose Cordas. Who cares about Cordas? But still, they're number 3. They put in Jan Sommer and Aldero. Guys, if you look at them individually, it's a bit of a tie for me. A bit of a tie. Why? Because Handanovic, Aldero, I think Aldero at this time is better than Handanovic was. Great Serie A keeper, number 1 goalkeeper for Sampdoria for such a long time. A very solid goalkeeper, and you bring him in as your number 2. Sommer, who replaces Onana. Honestly, Onana I find was a bit better, a bit younger, but Sommer brings a ton of experience on a team that needs a bit of experience, but also a ton of winning experience. Because with Bayern, let's not forget, he was the number 1 designated goalie after Neuer went down. Played fantastically well for them, and he is going to do fantastically well for Inter. And Inter get 55 million euros for Onana. Don't forget they had gotten him for 0. So I think Aldero, Sommer are better than Handanovic, Onana as a combination of 2. I think, like I said, I give the edge because I think Aldero is slightly, at this present time, better than Handanovic. And Sommer, Onana are basically the same, even though you give a slight edge to Onana because he's younger and he is great with the ball at his feet. Not to under-evaluate that. But I think as a whole, it started very bad for Inter at the goalkeeper position, so much so that they even did the Chinese tour without a number 1 goalie. They had the son of Stankovic, who was the goalie for La Primavera play, and so at the end they end up with Aldero, Sommer. So I think a good 7.58 is well deserved for that position. Then we move on to defense, guys. La Difesa 3. D'Ambrosio leaves, and of course Skriniar leaves. Skriniar signs with PSG. They replaced them by Bisek and Pavard. Pavard, guys, great colpo di mercato. It took a bit of time for him to arrive, a bit of back and forth with Bayern. They didn't want to let him go. Then he decided he wanted to go. Then he didn't want to let him go. Tuchel didn't want him to go. Then he went. He was going to become a free agent in 2024. Signs with Inter, a wealth of talent and international experience. Skriniar who? Like, honestly, I think Pavard is just as good, if not better than what Skriniar was, guys. Honestly, I don't think they're going to miss him at all. And they bring in Bisek, who in the few minutes that he played so far in Serie A, guys, has shown how solid of a defender he is. He is a giant of a man, and he plays very well. Very young, very talented. So we're going to give him time to develop. I'm sure he will become great. As a Milan fan, I hope he doesn't. But let's be honest, I think he will become a very good defender. Plus, they have Darmian, who's a bit that jolly, that can play a bit everywhere, right? Can play as a center back, can play on the wings, can do a bit of everything, Darmian. So I think a good calciomercato defensively for Inter. I'm going to give them a 7.5. 7.5 for the defense part, guys. Like I said, I think Pavard for Skriniar is an upgrade. Bisek from D'Ambrosio is also an upgrade. So to me, they did fine. At centrocampo, guys, and Inzaghi plays with il centrocampo a 5. So we have to look at the entire line, guys. On the wings, you get rid of Bellanova and you get rid of Gosens. You bring in Cuadrado on a free transfer and Carlos Augusto, guys. Cuadrado, let's be honest, if he is fit, is probably one of the best right backs we've had in Serie A for a very long time. And yes, maybe the last season with Juve wasn't the best, but let's be honest, who had a great season with Juventus last year? Not too many people. He comes into a new context where the players wanted him. The tifosi, not so much, but they already got into liking him. He's a very good player, and if he doesn't play all the minutes, because he's going to alternate with Dumfries, he's going to be rested, and a well-rested Cuadrado is a very, very talented player, guys. He pushes, he defends, he can attack. A very good acquisition, an acquisition a la Marotta, guys. Low-key, no money spent, and a great, great acquisition. On the other side, they get rid of Gosens, who was really never anything to Inter, and they get Carlos Augusto, one of the finest left backs in Serie A. Had a tremendous, tremendous season with Monza last year. So if you call him a left wing, left back, whatever you want to call him, but sensational season. So you remove Bellanova, you remove Gosens, you had Carlos Augusto and Cuadrado. Already there is an upgrade. Plus, of course, Darmian, who can play a bit anywhere, right? We said it before. In the midfield, you lose Gagliardini, you lose Brozovic, who wasn't really a number one choice anymore. You add in frattesi, and Sensi comes back. You keep Aslani, you have Çalhanoğlu, you have Mkhitaryan. Guys, they have an abundance of solution at centrocampo. And Inter has one of the best midfields in Serie A. Hands down, guys. Hands down. Let's be honest. The fact that you can interchange Frattesi, Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan. Guys, not a lot of teams have that. And so, great colpo di mercato. Frattesi only wanted Inter, and that's what he got. Brozovic, like I said, wasn't a first choice anymore. They got 18 million euros from him from Al Nassr. He leaves. Gagliardini, who cares? Sensi comes back. Aslani stays. Frattesi, one of the up-and-coming bright young stars of Italian soccer, if you don't already consider him a bright young talent of Italian soccer. And to think that he's not the first choice right now because Mkhitaryan has that spot, that says a lot, guys. That says a lot. Like I said, Aslani, he's going to take a bit of time. Under Inzaghi, the youngsters don't always play, but it's okay. Give him time. And Sensi, if he's fit, guys, he's a good regista. If he's fit, he's a good player to have around the team. Now, offensively, this is where midfield, by the way, 9.5. I give them 9.5, the midfield. I love their midfield. I think it's the best in Serie A. Offensively, guys. Offensively, this is where the big question mark starts, right? Because you had Lautaro, Lukaku, Dzeko, and Correa. You end up with Lautaro, Thuram, Arnautovic, and Sanchez. So, of course, Lautaro is Lautaro. You don't touch. He is not your number one guy. You replace Thuram. You bring in Thuram instead of Dzeko or Lukaku, whoever you put in first. He comes in, they steal him from Milan. He almost had an agreement with Milan, and then at the last moment decides to go to Inter. Guys, we had some question marks about Thuram. First game was so-so. Second game was better. Last game was phenomenal. So he is getting better next to Lautaro, and he is becoming a great partner for Lautaro. And that's a great thing. Arnautovic, a lot of people criticize the 10 million euro move. I find this move genius. Guys, Arnautovic can score 10 to 15 goals a season easily. And he's going to come off the bench. He's going to be rested. He has great experience. Guys, I think personally, it's a good move. The only thing that is blah is Sanchez. Why bring back Alexis Sanchez? Alexis Sanchez, guys, big question mark. Yes, you get rid of Tuco Correa, but Sanchez that you practically begged to leave last season, plus you paid a part of his salary for him to leave, you go get him back. To me, that makes no sense. That's a 0 for me. The fact that you had Lukaku and he decided not to come anymore because he was interested in Juve, ends up in Roma, not their fault. A bit of a horrible move by Lukaku. But guys, I'm going to give the front attack a 7 because Thuram we still need to see. It seems like he's doing better. Arnautovic is a good colpo di mercato. Sanchez is horrible, but it's not necessarily a upgrade on Lukaku and Dzeko, right? So only a 7. I think during the Pagelle I give them an 8.5. I think 8.5 overall is a very good grade for them. And so, guys, 8.5 for Inter. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. Do you agree with this analysis? Let me know.